Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the road to the SimRacing Expo powered by Aztec Sim Sports. We're here for the finale at Okayama, where we will be sending 6 drivers, 3 from the pros and 3 from the AMs, to the SimRacing Expo in, oh, Danny, it's less than 4 weeks now, isn't it? Less than a month's time. My name's Luke Crane. I'll be one of your commentators / hosts today, and I'm joined by the ever glorious Danny Juicer.
Thank you very much, Luke. I'm looking forward for the Racing Expo. Days running away, right? It's 23rd of September, 17th of October, we kick off Expo. And what we can say about the standings, top 3 of Pro class are equal on points. AM class tied as well. So since we have drop rounds today, it will be very, very hard to determine who's going to be on the top 3. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, I've picked your recommended track, so we can tell you finally in public. What do you expect of it?
Well, Okayama is just a really good race circuit. It's one of those circuits that lends itself to racing side by side, and you can go through multiple different corners and have the inside, then you're on the outside, then you're on the inside again, which is the perfect characteristics for this car, which is the BMW M2 within iRacing. But you were right, it is very tight at the sharp end of the grid. So let's have a look at the standings then. This is your pro class standings. So Aaron Vasquez and Pinter Jombi, they're both on 93 points alongside Alessandro Porter. That is including their drop score. So as it stands, if they have a perfect day today, those 3 are going to be moving through. But very close behind them is Marcel Marox, and Marcel Marox has got an 18-point. We've got 2 drop rounds here potentially, so he would love to replace the 18-point drop score as well, and hopefully have some better scores to indeed add to the total. We've got then Diogo Faria and we've got Balázs Pala, who are on 67 points each, and then you go down to Gergo Gajo, who I think is probably the last driver who has an outside chance of making it through to the finals on stage in October. Let's check out then the AM standings. The top 2 are both on the same points as the top 3 in the pros. It's 93 points apiece then for Matthew Collin and Tim Bielica. Then you've got Connor Franson on 87 points. He is only 7 points clear of, 87 points clear. He's only 11 points clear of Leon Mannin. So Leon Mannin will be the first to look to try and get up into that top 3. Jonas Hofstadter as well looking to get involved. Aaron Cook, who I can already see on YouTube, has some supporters watching at home as well. So Danny, it is close out there. It is just all about, if you're a top driver, making sure that you don't make any silly mistakes today. And if you're a driver that's a little bit further back, 4th down to maybe 6th in each class, it's full send finale.
Yeah, totally. And since we watched round 1 and 2, standing in our series is literally the key race, which we supposed to see in the last few races. And I'm very, very curious whether today some drivers keep it more or less better together. Yeah, as I said, Okayama is like fighting track. There's always a chance to come back from an overtake. And also, it's very technical since the car is not like a GT3 car or GT4 car with a lot of different settings where you can optimize the setup. The setup today is a bit oversteery, especially on that corner we see right here. So it's easy to set up a good overtake if the guy in front or in the back has a better or worse exit.
Yeah, 100%. And again, a bit of patience around Okayama is realistically what you need. And here's some lovely information for you then. Track length is 3.65 kilometers. If you can look there at the bottom of the track, there's the red line. It is right to left. So turn 1 is a lovely little right hand, and it's sweeping all the way down towards the hairpin, which is turn number 4, the Atwood curve. And then probably the biggest overtaking opportunity is down in towards turn 5, which is called hairpin. Then we head into Revolver, which is the start of 2 left-handers, in then through Piper, which is turn number 7, and then another good overtaking opportunity down in towards Redmond. The next turn then will be turn number 9, which is Hobbs. And then you've got Mike Knight corner, which is a very fast right-hander in turn number 10, before you set yourself up for the final turn in turn number 11. And if you can make someone go a little bit defensive through turn number 11, it's a huge opportunity down in towards turn number 1. But it's one of those circuits, again, if you're patient, you could lose positions, but you can also regain them by having that patience. If you take too many chances, your race can be over within a blink of an eye. So yeah, super exciting to see how this does indeed play out today, as we are on board with Adnan Grozdanic, and we are already into qualification. So let's take you on a lap here of Okayama, using all of the exit there of the final turn to indeed maximise your speed. We go across the start-finish line, and you know, all season long we have done these track laps, and unfortunately they've never tends to finish them. So hopefully Adnan is going to be the first driver of the season to do so. On the exit of turn number 1, then again using all of the circuit, and then running out as far right as you possibly can to come through turn number 2 through the left-hander. Now we're running through the slalom S, flat out through here. There's nothing to be worried about. You just got to take the shortest route through possible as we now head down in towards turn number 4. This is the Atwood curve. It's a very interesting corner. You can get the power down a lot earlier than you would anticipate because it is, first of all, uphill, and there's such a wide exit to this part of the circuit. Expect to see cars weaving left and right during the race around this part because it is a long run down towards the harshest of our braking zones, down towards the hairpin of turn number 5. Nice bit of camber on the inside of the circuit here as well you can utilize. It just hooks the car up, gets the car rotated, a car that doesn't like to turn. So we now come through the double left-hander using the undulation of this circuit. Again, the camber sort of runs you out wide there on the exit of turn number 6. We then come through turn number 7, again using as much curb as you possibly can. This left-hander, Redmond, is uphill as well, so again you get on the power a little bit earlier than you would anticipate. Move the car over to the left-hand side of the circuit as best you possibly can as you come through Hobbs. And this corner just keeps on going and going and going. So easy there to run out into the grass and lose so much time as you've got to set yourself up perfectly for this right-hander. Almost flat out through there. You've got to just let off ever so slightly. As we then come through the final corner, you'll see exactly how much curb you can use. But if you use a little bit too much, you'll be into the gravel. Then you will be slow, and then you will be susceptible to an overtake down towards turn number 1. Across the start-finish line for Adnan Grozdanic. And his lap time is going to be good enough to put him, well, it looks like he must have got, no, he hasn't, there we go, P5. So it's about 0.3 of a second off of David Toth, Vasquez, and Jarno Koch as your top 3. But that's a lap of Okayama, Danny.
Yeah, look, to be honest, that was one of the most beautiful lap walks I ever heard. And it shows that you already drove a couple of laps, maybe hundreds, thousands laps of Okayama in any different car series, or the track knowledge was quite intensive, to be honest.
I've done a little bit of F4 here and a little bit of Mazda here, to be honest. In real honesty, I've commentated more races here than I've actually raced. But yeah, it is a very, very good circuit. Jarno Koch moves up to 2nd position. David Toth, though, with a 0.2 of a second advantage over the rest of the field here with a 1:40.384. Another bit of housekeeping. If they've got a red number behind their name and the number 1 ahead of them, they are a pro driver. And then the number 2 or a white number, it is indeed a AM driver. So it gives you a good chance at home for you to understand exactly who you are on board with and who you are watching. As we're on board now with Svoboda, who was the first of our AM drivers, currently in 6th position, about just shy of 0.4 off the pace, making the long run down the hill into, again, the harshest braking zone as we come through turn number 5. And you can see there is the camber of that circuit. Again, the exit is a nice little curve. Before then, the track does run away from you, so it's really tough to get the car hooked up through this first left-hander. It's so easy to run off into the gravel. Luckily, there's the entrance, or I guess the exit, of the shorter layout there to sort of bail you out. So if you do go into the gravel there, you're not going to be in there too long. You will hit the tarmac sooner rather than later. But best to keep it within the mayo and the mustard, as they say, and that will give you the best opportunity at a good lap time.
Yeah, and Peter Zombie took over the currently
Half 10th
position
of a second. Pinter Jombi is currently tied at the top with 3 drivers, Vasquez, Jombi, and Porter, all on 93 points. And this is a perfect opportunity for him to indeed consolidate that. Vasquez down in P5. He wouldn't be too worried about that. Where is Porter in all of this, actually? Porter has yet to put in a strong lap time. Yeah, has not left the pit lane. So, yeah, Porter's going to leave it late, and to be fair, does normally do that. In terms of the AMs, we're looking at here Matthew Collin. Where is Matthew Collin? He's down in 19th position. In terms of the AMs, he is down in 9th spot. Then we've got Tim Bielica. Tim Bielica is 1 position ahead of him. And then you've got Connor Franson. Connor Franson is currently in 2nd position in terms of the AMs. What about Leon Manning and Hofstadter? Hofstadter down in what would be 6th position. Yes, sorry, 7th position. And then Leon Manning is a very big contender today because he's currently 3rd out of all of the AMs and finds himself there a fair chunk of change down the order, but 3rd overall in the AMs, which is all he's got to be worried about.
To Hofstad, I have something to add to. So we talked earlier the day, and he told me that he's actually quite sick and laid down the bed for the last few days. but he didn't want to miss a chance to give it a go today. So yeah, heads up and respect for him to get out of the bed and try to do the best on the track. So
Yeah.
doesn't look too bad, to be honest.
And he has a great shout of going through here. He's currently 19 points off going into today's on 68, 87. Sorry, how many points is he off? He's only off. Yeah, sorry, he is. Exactly, that's there. So not far off. 19 points is the difference between him and Connor Francis. So needs some good results, and he needs to hope that Connor Franson or Tim Bieliker indeed has a bad day in the office. And actually, could be Matthew Collin as well. Also, the real interesting part of this championship is that there is a 20% blip in terms of the top 20 for race number 2. Danny, you can explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so since we don't like to do everything like other racing series are doing, we thought initially in the start of the series we do a totally full reverse grid on the second race, but our drivers had some remarks to do that, and then we decided just to flip the top 20. So it's always interesting then to see how the drivers that's coming normally in front, going back to the field, and that spices things up, especially on this last race series, which determines whether you are finishing in top 3 in Pro or AM. Because why it's so important to finish in top 3? Because then you're allowed to come to SimRacing Expo and drive on the 18th of October on the final at Saturday SimRacing Expo. And Luke, since you're the head of stage plan, I think it's the last panel or the last stage program of the Saturday, right?
It certainly is, yeah. It's one of the last ones on a Saturday. It's going to be fun. You know, you're going to have 6 drivers up there battling out to become the champion of their class, all in person, a nice LAN event. So, yeah, it should be a whole load of fun. I get to commentate with Danny as well on site, which is always good fun. But, yeah, it's just nice to meet the drivers as well, because you get that. And, you know, normally when you race people online, as soon as someone makes an overtake or there's a slight bit of contact, you instantly think they're the worst person in the world. And then when you meet people in real life, it's just not like that. It's a very different atmosphere. They'll all be willing each other on. It is, yeah, LAN events are always good fun. Into the last 5 minutes then of the session, a few drivers yet to put lap times in as we go across the line there. Dizderovic has moved himself up into P22. Any improvement there? No, it doesn't look like that is the case. Here we go. Alessandro Porta then about to come around the final corner and start their journey in this qualifying session. I think is this an outlap or is this his first flying lap? Well, we're about to find out. First flying lap then. As across the line we will go. And where does Alessandro Porta put themselves? Not quite going to update as of yet as we go through turn number 1. So actually it was an outlap. We haven't got him classified as of yet. So through turn 1, now in towards turn number 2, hugging that apex on the left-hand side, running up nice and wide there. Bit of gravel, but that won't affect the pace too much as we now head down towards Atwood Curve. Very important corner here. You need to be getting the power down as early as you possibly can. Because it is a low power car, you will not see them run out far left very early. Again, they're just staying to the right, and it's all about making the track the shortest possible route, really, with a low-powered car. In a higher-powered car, you kind of can afford to run out wide because you try to just get as much speed as you possibly can. As you can see now, here's the long run. It's all downhill from turn number 4 down towards turn number 5, using the contours of the circuit to get that car hooked up, get the car turned in. Now moving the car as far right as you possibly can, using the white line there as well. So Porter very much pushing the limits of this track perfectly, executing the right wheels into the groove there of the AstroTurf, now through the left-hander of Piper. Now it's the run down towards turn number 8 into Redmond. Using that curb on the inside, I would imagine. Yeah, there we go. And now going to hook the car to the left as soon as you possibly can to open up then this right-hand turn, which is Hobbs. And now we've just got 2 corners to go. It's all about momentum through the final couple of corners. Again, just use that curb there on the inside. Try and get the rotation, but also maintaining the speed of the car. Again, just dabbing the brakes, not trying to lose too much momentum, using all of the exit curb there and a little bit more as we come across the line. And here will be the first time then from Alessandro Porta, currently tied at the top of the Pro Championship with Jambi and Vasquez. And Porta only goes P11. And a bit of pressure here because Marcel Marox, where's Marox? Actually, Marox is a bit further down. So Marcel Marox is a bit further down. Diogo Faria, where is he? Well, he's just 1 position ahead. So actually, right now, this is not the worst position to be in, because if he was to finish somewhere around 11th, you'd be a little bit further ahead for race number 2. So actually, as much as you want to qualify as high as you possibly can, this is not the worst position in the world to be in if you are indeed Alessandro Porta.
Yeah, but if you finish in P11, let's say, They're coming in like this. It's only 16 points, so that's close to a drop result. And then the whole standing can change very quick and it's on top of his head. So
That's his qualifying done. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he goes out and does a formation lap now, sorry, a warm-up lap and then a fast lap. That is his qualifying done, so he will not be any higher than P11. We're on board then with Diz Derovic, who's currently in 23rd, the Bosnian and Herzegovinian driver. Finding his way around and struggling a little bit. The 11th seed, if you can see the numbers on the screen, the number 1 and the number 2 at the start, the number signifies whether they're pro or am, but then the actual number behind that means what seed they were in terms of the qualifying pace getting into the whole series. And Dizderovic was the 11th fastest in terms of the pros. He actually does move up there into P21, but I'm not sure he'll be too pleased with that one. Who we're on board with. Again, Alessandro Porta is coming around here. Not sure what he's doing, to be honest, because his qualifying session is officially done.
Nope, it's actually 1 lap, I think, he still has to go.
Yeah, he's only got 1 minute and
running
6
out, right?
seconds to go, Danny. So, yeah, that is why his qualifying session is done. So, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to figure something out around one of the corners. Or they have not been told about the track until today, right? So, maybe... some of these drivers are a little bit less comfortable with the circuit, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Or also, this time around, we changed a bit the setup. So basically, we didn't supply different qualifying setup because the car actually feels way better with a higher fuel load. And obviously, sometimes some drivers like to have a car which is changing direction more freely or directly. And maybe that's just not fitting his driving style. But let's see how the race goes. Our races are always like a bit dramatic. So if you start in P11, maybe you end up in P1 or P21. We never know. So let's see how it goes.
Just goes to show how quick this session is, really. The fact that everybody here is very much capable. Yeah, they're all that close on our grid. But here's a lovely pan shot then of Okayama. It's the venue for the finale of the Road to the Sim Racing Expo, powered by Aztec Sim Sports 2025. So we're about to get the grid pop up on our screens to see exactly who is where. But for Aaron Vasquez, Pinto Jombi, they're looking pretty good here. Alessandro Porta, though, in a little bit of bother, considering someone who is a direct rival of getting himself to the Expo of Diogo Faria starts ahead of him, albeit only 1 position. But there is a big opportunity here for Faria to make his way to the Expo. In terms of the AMs, it looks very good for Connor Franson, looks very good for Bielica. Leon Manning looks like he's going to try and put a bit of pressure on Matthew Collin, who currently leads the championship as well by 90, or with 93 points. So here we go. About to see the grid, the official grid results, or the official grid start for our race here at Okayama. 2 races, remember. The second race will be a 20 position reverse from the first race results. Pinto Jombi joins a front row from Hungary, actually a front 3 from Hungary, with David Toth in second, Balázs Pala in third. Then Jano Koch is in 4th position. We've got Aaron Vasquez in 5th, Miroslav Svoboda in 6th, our first AM on the grid. Adnan Grozdanic then in 7th with Connor Franson, another of our AMs, second of our AMs in 8th position. They've got Gergo Gaja and Diogo Faria in your 5th row. Then on to the 6th row, we've got Alessandro Porta with a little bit of work to do with Victor Eilerman in 12th spot. Giacchino Capillo in 13th, Marcel Marox in 14th position. Leon Manin in 15th with Karolis Mezgalis in 16th spot. Then got Wojtek Dvorak, Jonas Hofstadter as your top 18. Tim Bielica and Matthew Collin round out your 10th row. Amar Dizderovic and Leon Harhoff are in 21st and 22nd position. Aaron Cook and Adam Majaros are 23rd and 24th. Then on to the 13th row is Alexei Cavero and Mate Lampert. We then got Tauno Oromets and Cody Cosford as your 14th row. Kenzie Van der Werken, should I say, Stein Handgraf, then our 29th and 30th. Then we've got Ibrahimovic in 31st. Then we've got Florian Horvath in 32nd. And then Hamza Parla is in 33rd position. Oh, Danny, pretty close qualifying session. Any predictions for today's race?
I'm always astonished how good you can read the names. I'm bumbling these kind of things, but yeah, the midfield seems like very, very close, especially like people that were like 4 tenths to 6 tenths slower than Pinter on pole. I have still like a feeling that maybe the nationality today can be deciding factor with 3 Hungarians in the top positions. Or what do you think about that? Is Pinter actually now a teammate of Aaron, or is he still not driving with them? Because I saw a written ghost skin on Pinter Zombie's car.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. As much as it teammates and stuff can affect each other and whatnot, it's such an individual championship, and the prize of going to the SimExpo as one of the stars of the show is very, very important. So there's going to be some alliances out there, whether it be nationality or team, but for the most part, they're just going to, ironically, they're all in the hunt to go through. So it's very difficult to help someone out that you're actually trying to beat. So I think this is going to be a nice, fair fight out there. It should be a super, super interesting race. I just think the real interesting factor is that Alessandro Porta here just needs to keep himself sort of somewhere handy. And I think his focus might already be on the second race, though. Because if he moves too far forward, obviously the points are great, but you kind of then ruin your opportunity of starting nearer the front because of that 20 position reverse grid.
Yeah, I think now the drivers need to be a bit more strategic. Maybe have even their overall standings open to see how the drop rounds are on the opponents. Since some drivers really have like good results all over the season, let's call it season. And so you need to find the opponent where you can take advantage of, and maybe where you can stick behind, since the drop rounds don't matter for him. So.
I'm normally pretty good at maths during a live race, but when it comes to drop rounds, zero chance of me doing that, guys. So I'll try my best, but yeah, we are just going to do what we can do. Here we go. We're about to head off for the first race of our finale week. 2 races today, both of them 20 minutes long. This one, of course, dealt with by qualifying in terms of our grid. And the second one, well, we're off. We're actually down towards turn number 1. And there you go. The red lights have appeared on your screen, but it's a very, very good start indeed from our pole sitter as we head then through into towards turn number 1. Ignore Pilot, by the way, guys. Pilot will be at the back of the grid, and looks like they haven't got off the line, and they might be in the pits there. Pinter Zombie then does take them away with David Toth in behind them. Pala, Jano Koch and Aaron Vasquez as your top 5. Svoboda has stayed in 6th position. Adnan Grozovich and Franson are all in similar positions. Actually, Grozovich just moved ahead of Svoboda, made a little move then as we head then down towards turn number 4, and that is the first move of the day. Eilerman and Porter having some altercation. Porter's actually dropped down 2 positions here, and he cannot afford to get involved with anything in terms of facing the wrong way and being at the back of the grid here. That would be devastating for his chances of going to Dortmund in October.
Exactly, but what we can say, like, we have a clean start. So far, no crashes. Hopefully, I don't have the commentator curse right now here for Porter, but I think he's on a good way into the corner against Eileman, who's also racing normally quite fair. Recently, Eileman had a GT4 test with Pro Sports SimRacing and used to drive the Aston Martin GT4 in Hockenheim. And what was quite interesting. Florian Howard is now going for the overtake, but I don't think that's anything that Porter maybe is shocking or not. Yeah, as you said, Okayama is a great track to race. They are going too wide for the whole length of the track. Matthew Collin on the last position. That's harsh.
Yeah, that is not good for Matthew Collin, who's currently the championship leader of the AMS, and yeah, not looking good for him at all. But I wanted to just quickly go on board with Porter there, because Porter had the move done, but Capillo, which is the teammate of Eilerman, just sort of sent one a little bit down in towards Redmond, which is turn number 8, which effectively forced Porter to defend, and that kept Eilerman ahead there. So very good job between the 2 teammates fighting with Porter together. But Porter's dropped down 2 spots here, so he started 11th and he's down to 13th, so not a good start. Got caught out, that is for certain. As again, we're looking a little bit further back then, so we're on board then with Eilerman. You've got Porter just behind, and Porter is going to try and open up this corner, get that power down. He's got to commit to it now, and he should get a run as they head then down towards turn number 5, which is the hairpin. A bit of a mistake there actually as well there. So Gaja also having a bit of a nightmare, and Porter's got to try and find a gap here. And can he make a double overtake? It looks like Svoboda's actually dropping back here as well. Eilerman's going to make the move up the inside, and Porter's decided against it. Porter probably thinking a bit more about the second race. If he can pick up some positions, he absolutely will, in terms of people making mistakes, but just doesn't want to get involved in anything and end up where Matthew Collin is, and that's at the back of the grid order. As Peter Jomby does lead the way then, ahead of David Toff, and David Toff has tried to find a gap there, and wow, almost had contact between both of them. But ultimately, they are both facing in the right direction, which is fantastic news. David Toff is currently 13th in our championship. Basically has to win 2 races here, so he has to go for broke.
Yeah, exactly. And I think David Toff is like very relaxed so far, even like he's very aggressive on the braking phase, since Pala can just simply defend for him and taking away the pressure from behind. And
oh, slow down.
Potential
slowdown there for Leon Manning, or I don't know how he's ended up that far on the inside there. So he must have made a mistake there. We can guess who the Lithuanian driver is, by the way, with the lollipop livery once again. Always good to see Mescalis in the race. And who's that right at the back there? That is Tauno Oromet, then, the Estonian driver. Finds himself now down back of the order. And Matthew Collin has probably moved up because of that. So good news for Matthew Collin in terms of the points. You do score points. Basically, wherever you finish today, you are going to score points. So, yeah, the further up the order, the more points you're going to score, of course.
Yeah, so far, I've take a look into the current standings. For Thunder Porter, sorry. Actually, nothing is changing because his current result is a 14th point result. And when I'm not too mistaken, that should be something around E12. So, if anything,
correct.
If he gains 1 place, he can improve his worst drop result so far.
Oh, there we go. So it will be actually a gain of a point there. As we head then through the double left-hander, and it is just an absolute cluster here. Dizderovic has just lost out of position there, I believe. Oh, sorry, Majaras has just lost the position. No, it was Dizderovic. It's Lampert. I think Cosford's going to try and come through as well. You make one small error, and basically you get absolutely swamped. And yeah, the number 111 is Dizderovic. He's just losing position after position after position. He's going to lose another one here by the looks of things. And has Cosford got it? Van der Werken also trying to get through as well. We've got Measuros trying to get through as well. Oh, well, there we go. He's aggressively tried to defend it, and there's a car behind. He's just gone straight through the back of him and just couldn't really avoid that situation. That's Florian Horvath, actually. So Florian Horvath finds himself, what position is he in the championship? 16th coming into today. Yeah, not having the best of days. Matthew Collin up to P28. So, yeah, finding a few more positions. A bit further up then, Eilerman Glazer battling for position. Porter has gained a spot, though. By the looks of things, looks like Marox has actually dropped down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of myself for the championship on the AM, since it's like very, very dramatic with Matthew Collin. But overall, Matthew had like first place finish, a second place finish, and like, yeah, place 12 and P8. So his standing is
should be okay.
Currently still okay. So maybe he's aware of that and doesn't need to push so hard. I think he's going to at least grab P20 to have P1 in the next race, the second race. But,
oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. Sorry there, Danny.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That was an awesome overtake.
Yeah, Alessandro Porter just sent one up the inside there for, bit of contact then between Svoboda and Porter. Svoboda just keeping his foot on the loud pedal, but Alessandro Porter then just picking drivers off. Should have the overlap here, will defend the inside as soon as he possibly can. Yeah, gets across the bonnet. Very cleverly done there, but it's just one of those circuits where you can have the move done, but you kind of still need to defend it for the next 3 or 4 corners, because it's left then right, then left then right. So there's always an inside opportunity if you've been overtaken on the previous corner on the inside. As we go a bit further back then, so there's Connor Franson with Faria just in behind. So that is Franson there in the purple car. Faria is in the black car further behind, but Connor Franson is the lead car of the AMS, currently 3rd in the AM Championship, and this would almost guarantee him a trip through to Dortmund, which would be fantastic to see the Dutchman make an appearance there. But look how close it is at the sharp end of this race. We're 7 minutes into a 20-minute race, and Jomby, Toth, Pala, all still in that front 3, the Hungarian trio. Then they're followed by Koch, Vasquez, Grosdanic, and Franson, who's got a bit of a gap there, and he won't be too worried about that. And I'll tell you what, if Faria starts to put too much pressure on to Franson, I would not be surprised if he just lets him go, sits in behind him, and lets himself get dragged along here. I'm wondering whether he's just going to defend the inside line and actually let him go. He did. He did exactly that, and that's clever. That's really clever from him. It just makes complete sense.
Yeah, it's actually, to be honest, I've talked to Hofstetter and Franzen, and both of them actually gained through our series like at least 1,000 I rating, just driving the M2, getting the groove in of the car and how to fight with that. And actually you see the so-called AM driver now progressing to a level where they can actually fight 8, 9, 10K drivers on our grid, which is like literally very, very awesome to see.
Exactly that there. Manin, Dvorak. Morox has just dropped back there. So Morox has just dropped back. He must have had a slowdown penalty. Vasquez ran the wrong way. That is not good news then for Aaron Vasquez, current championship leader. And again, just stays to the right-hand side of the track, joins, yeah, nicely. Could have been a whole lot worse, that is for certain. But Aaron Vasquez is dropped all the way down to P19 in this race overall. And in terms of the race in the pros, it's about 11th, maybe 12th position now for Vasquez. So Vasquez has kind of put himself on the front row of the grid for the race number 2. So it's not the end of the world for him, but he will not be happy with how that's gone down.
Oh, indeed. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened to Vasquez. Vasquez is not the driver who's prone to mistakes, to be honest. So maybe there was some, forced contact, and we'll see a replay right now.
Oh dear, yeah, so he's sort of just gone up into the back there of the car in front, and he's run a little bit wide. Grosvenich has just put his nose in. A little bit of contact.
Yeah, good WTCC style contact. Just pushing on the exit and turning the car around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more misfortune more than anything there, to be honest.
Yeah, our driver's not doing that intentionally, right? Watching that this kind of small tap actually was enough to spin the car. But that actually is like releasing pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
From Porter actually, because
Porter's just picking off positions of people making mistakes. You can see there, by the way, Farrier, the BMW is definitely not supposed to look like that. That is a very modified car. If you're trying to weight shed, I can tell you right now, it may be lighter. It's definitely not faster.
And you really need to figure out who's currently. I think Porter is on something today here, and with his bad results so far, he really can gain a lot of points just by being the guy who's picking up places. Even
yeah, 100%.
When the starting position was not so great, actually the worst one I think he has so far on the grid. And Vasquez has still more problems. He's dropping places.
Yeah, he's not having a good time of it at all. And well, he might just be trying to guarantee himself a top the 20th position, right? At this rate, as he was a big send there up the inside. Who was that? Was that Harhoff on Bielica? It is Harhoff on Bielica, right? We've got Aaron Vasquez just a little bit further back. He's just chilling. Exactly that. So there was a bit of a send. Didn't work out. Davidov has made the move for the lead, actually. So Pinter Jombi and Davidov are swapping positions through part of the race circuit where you can absolutely race side by side. There we go. So Jombi lost out. Davidov's going to try and keep that outside line. But again, it's another left-hander here, so this is not the worst position for Jombi to be in. But can Toth keep the overlap going into the final few corners? I don't think he will be able to, and Pinter Jombi aggressively will hold on. That's now going to make this the fastest formation lap of 2x2 in the world, sponsored by Noah's Ark. And the front four are separated by absolutely nothing. You cover them with a loincloth. They are super close.
Yeah, and the guy who's benefiting from that is Rostanik. He was like coming closer and closer, very fast, and taking Faria with him. So let's see whether these kind of mini battles here around the last section of the track is actually bringing some more action closer to the end of the race, since we made the halftime of the race so far. And yeah, as you said, Okayama proves over and over again that racing is here actually possible. And if we think about years back where most of our drivers were even born from the one who's racing here. So yeah, amazing track for racing.
I don't even remember us racing here, to be honest. So yeah, it's not just for the young drivers. I guess it is just young drivers. I'm a young driver. Really simple as that. Front four though, I've got away now. The gap 1.3 seconds behind them is Grosvenich. Then you've got Farrier, who just effectively needs to go out there and try and win some races here. Grosvenich is P8 in the championship. He also needs to win some races. That having someone like Vasquez not having the best of days, Marox not really having the best of days, Porter not having the best of days. This does open the door for someone like Grozdanich to maybe sneak in. And guys, mathematics, again, is not the strong point when you've got 2 drop rounds for a commentator. So you'll have to keep an eye on our socials to make sure that you just search on any platform, SimRacing Expo. Really is as simple as that. And all of the results will be posted in due course. So you know exactly who will be at the Sim Expo. And maybe you want to come and join us. I can tell you right now, my God, the tickets are selling fast this year. So if you want to get your preferred day, you need to get that booked as soon as possible. Head to the simracingexpo.com and yeah, get your tickets booked right now, because we're expecting a lot of people, aren't we, Danny?
Yeah, I won't drop the numbers right now, but the numbers are currently like quite crazy. And I reached out to a lot of exhibitors, and there's a lot of new things to show. Some things were already leaked a bit, but disappeared from the internet. So that's the crazy work-life day of sim racing companies in the industry. And Toth is actually like getting more aggressive and aggressive over and over again. I think Toth like really wants to get like this first win of the season, which is so far not happened, when I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's a minimum for him. He has to win 2 races, to be honest, because he's got 2 14-point scores and a 12-point scores. He needs to get rid of a 14-point score and a 12-point score. You know, he basically needs to secure himself, you know, 50-50, so 100 points, and then he's good to go. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, not good at all. So it just has to be a win. It's as simple as that. He will not be expecting any favours from Pinter Jombi, although they are both from Hungary. But yeah, at this stage, it's actually a big opportunity for Pala as well. Pala's got a better opportunity than David Toft, because Pala's currently 6th in the championship. He didn't even race in the first 2 rounds, so his drop scores are done. So whatever he scores today would be his score. So if he was to go out there and get 50 and 50, that would actually put Pala on 167 points. So yeah, big day here for Pala, and he's realistically the driver to be watching out for here today.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you that you're just pulling these through. I just wanted to mention that Pala was this late entry to our series, and the double 0 points is actually very, very crucial to be in front of me. And I'm just thinking that Pala is waiting and waiting, and and Toth is making the work and getting the tires of Zombie. So Pala maybe has the competitive edge in the last few laps, which are going to start soon, since we have 15 minutes of 20 done. And yeah, I'm very, very curious for the last seconds nearly of these kind of race minutes. And I'm just watching whether Vasquez is still in P20 and how close Aaron Cook is behind him. It's like half a second, so probably for Vasquez big enough of a gap to make it until the end.
Yeah, Vasquez is used to top splits in iRacing, the highest iRating on the service, so used to having someone right on his tailpipe for a long extended period of time. So half a second will feel like an absolute age for him, and I'm just thinking he might have intentionally got himself into 20th position here just to make sure he's got pole. As we see, big break on the apex there, and I tell you what, Jombi has made a bit of a mistake there. Tried to recover by breaking onto the apex and a little bit more than he would have done, and actually he's now put himself under a little bit of pressure. He does hold on to the lead as it stands, but there's an inside now run for David Toft. So can David Toft find himself the smallest of gaps here? Jombi will force him then to run round the outside. Pala actually is going to go through one. This should open a door up. It does open a door up then for Grozdanich, and Grozdanich just doesn't care about any of these drivers actually. It's actually Jano Koch, should I say. So Jano Koch doesn't really care about these 3 drivers. He's just trying to get the best result he possibly can. He's currently 11th in the championship. A race win twice here effectively would be what he needs, and the best way to start that is by winning race number 1. I think we're only going to have probably 3 laps remaining. Going to be close to about 3 laps remaining here, so we're going to start to see this get frantic. If drivers have just been looking after tyres and just sort of making sure that they're in the hunt with a couple of laps to go, this is now where it indeed will come down to who's got the balls to make a move. It really is as simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm picking up on frantic again. Our leader of the AM championship is out of the race. He's sitting in the pit for some couple of minutes because we couldn't pick up on that since they're falling.
So we're going to have a little bit of a replay here, but we've got too much action on circuit there. It's actually, that's going to open a door for Pala. So David Toft tried to make a move round on the outside. Jombi runs ever so slightly deep, and now Pala is side by side with his teammate. And well, I think he just kind of backed out of it, to be honest. Yeah, he did. He was clearly going to go through. And now this is just going to bring Jano Koch in. I think that Pala has decided that if one of those two are going to go through, it's going to be David Toth. I genuinely believe that's the decision that's been made here. It's now Grosnic is going to come through and move up and make friends with this front four group. And I think Pala and Toth have genuinely made a decision here. That's why Pala isn't getting into the slipstream. He's just playing defense effectively for David Toth. I'm wondering whether Pala just can't make the dates. And now it's just a case of, do you know what, I'm going to help my teammate out. Although he nearly sends it in deep and nearly takes Jarno Koch out. As David Toth gets across Jarno Koch's bonnet. And wow, it's a big mistake there from the Hungarian. I'm not sure Jarno Koch could do anything about that there. But David Toth, his race to the SimRacing Expo is done. It is over. Unfortunately, it is done and dusted. He will not be making it to the final. Pala now, all of a sudden, with an opportunity to go out there and take this race victory, but he's now 0.6 of a second to work with. It is the white flag. It's a final lap. I think Pala will be pretty happy with a second position, but is there one last twist in the tail? Adnan Grosnic knows he has to go out there and win as well. I don't think second's quite enough, so maybe he can work with Pala, but Pala, I think that gap is just a bit too big.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Let's look at this again here. So David Toth, obviously involved in that little incident here. So yeah, so David Toth runs out wide, and then he's on the outside there. Oh, I don't know whether he turned in. We'd have to see that from the actual in-car point of view, or maybe even a chase cam point of view, to realistically see what happened there, because that didn't really show. But there was definitely contact between Jarno Koch and indeed David Toth, and ultimately they've both lost out here because Jarno Koch has also dropped down into 5th position. He stands on at the inside of Diogo Faria. Faria is going to lose out ever so slightly. I think they're going to be side by side. They should give Grosnic a guaranteed podium because of the fighting behind. They're both fighting men. Oh, fantastic action here at Okayama for race 1 of our final race week before we head to a LAN event in October. Pintajombi is looking very much like his second win of the season. Managed to win the first race of round number 2. And while he has led from start to finish here, he kind of went behind for about half a corner for David Toth, but ultimately got back into the lead and has not looked back here. Pala, who did not race in race 1 and race 2, is about to add a 43-point haul to his 37 and 30 points as well. And I think a really good result in the second race here today could potentially give him a chance of making it to the SimRacing Expo. But one driver I think is almost guaranteed now. It will be Pintajombi taking his space, or his step, or someone's found the wrong way in the background as well. Yeah, we'll be taking his place at the SimRacing Expo on our stage to race in our finale. It'll be second place then for Pala. Grosnic will take that podium spot, he just kept his nose clean. In terms of the AMS then, Branson will take the race victories. Svoboda will finish in second, and then Leon Manin will finish in third spot. Oh, Okayama, definitely the best track we've used this season.
Exactly, and I think totally flipped down and up and back and forth in the AM championship, so that will be crazy to see then when it's all following after the next race. To be honest, if Zombie is writing a book of how defending and stay always in the lead without crashing, I'm gonna buy that instantly. That's going to be a bestseller. This guy just dominated the whole season, like switching wins in seconds with Aaron Vasquez, and now he defended one of the most crazy races straight all through all laps, never give it away, was always clean. Really good job. So we can make actually, I think, the first announcement of the entry to SimRacing Expo, and that's Pintajombi, since he definitely got away from a 10-point scoring with this. And yeah, do you want to roll the results?
No, do you know what, Danny? It's the final one. I'll let you do it.
Okay, we have Pintajombi in first, they're following Pala, Grosdanik, Faria, Jarno Koch, Victor Eilerman, who recently drove GT4s, Alessandro Portaway in great 7th position, then Connor Franz now first in AMs, following by Svoboda and Capillo. Then it's Leon Manin, who also gained a lot of points today, drove Rag Mescalis, Hofstetter with his sickness today still finished P14, Tim Barlicke, Leon Hauf, Aaron Koch, and Aaron Vasquez made it to P18, so starting from P3 right now in the next race. Reno Gasha, Morox, Toth, who, not finished the race in the position he hoped for, Covero, Koshford, Mesaros, Kenzie van der Werken, and Hangroff. P27 is Lambert, Disdarek, the guys will kill me after the race. Hofrat, Oromans, Pala, and Ibrahimovic, and yeah, our leader of AM Championship, Matthew Collin, in the last one.
There we go. So that is your drive. Don't worry, Daniel. I'll never get to do that again. That's fine.
Thank you very
much. The big story, really, though, is Matthew Collin, who just cannot afford a second bad race, and he starts from the back. He was our leader coming in today. Let's just quickly get the standings up on our screen once again. So let's check out the AM standings that were what they were coming into today. So there we go. So Matthew Collin was leading with Tim Bieliker, but Matthew Collins just had a DNF. He's already had a 14-point score and a 22-point score. So the what would that be? The 22-point score will now be replaced, right? So it'd be it'd be the so 14 points and 0 will be the 2 drop scores. So actually, it will not be the 22 points. And he starts from last. So this is a big opportunity for the likes of Leon Manning, Hofstadter to maybe get themselves off. Maybe even Aaron Cook suddenly gets himself involved in this hunt for the top 3 again. I'm going to try and do a little bit of maths, guys, but it's just so difficult with drop rounds for me to actually give a definitive answer as to who is where. In terms of the Pro Championship, Aaron Vasquez was the big casualty of how that went down. He fell down to P20, but ironically, with a 20 position reverse grid, he's actually now in the best spot for race number 2. So here we go then. We're about to head and check out our grid for race number 2. We're about to get involved with race number 2, and we're actually going to find out exactly who will be at the Expo. Let's check out, there's the pro standings. They were on our screen. Now they've gone again. But yeah, the pro standings, you see there, Aaron Vasquez was leading. Pinto Jean-B was second. Alessandro Porta was indeed in third. And if you're wondering how I didn't notice that was a different standings, guys, there's no transition. So all I'm looking at is the colors. And I'm trying to look at 800 different things. A little bit of look behind the curtain, chat. I'm trying to look at 900 million different things. If there's no transition, I don't think something's changed. But yeah, Marcel Marox, not quite close enough. I think Pala getting a second position really does throw himself up involved in the potential championship hunt, because his drop scores are 0 and 0, right? So if he gets another big result, it was just going to add to a mammoth score. And yeah, if anyone could get involved with that top 3, it would be Balázs Pala. But yeah, Vasquez starting from pole, Zombie, Porter, all being in that top 20, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to get involved. To be fair, the hard work might have already been done. But yes, both championships still have a lot of running to go. Isn't that right, Danny?
Yeah. The final 20 minutes, I would say.
It is? Apart from the final, of course.
Yeah, apart of the final, yeah. But let's keep the final in the future. And for the most part of the drivers, it's now the final 20 minutes to give also a bit more hindsight behind the series. So it's not like the only top 3 getting something. There's prize money from P1 to P10 for AM and Pro, and both get the same amount of money. So there is no preferred handling between pros or AM. I think already some drivers are like very happy to finish in top 10, since the fights overall of the 3 rounds were very, very hard. And with some of the best drivers on the iRacing service in the grid, it's always like a very interesting situation if you finish in front of them, because yeah, these drivers are driving daily hours on iRacing, and if you can finish in front, that's not something that happens every day, or you don't not even end up on the same grids in special events like them. So always quite a unique opportunity to have these kind of people to race against them. And we can't talk so far about what's gonna happen on the final, because that will be announced on the 30th of September, as I'm aware. But we can say that they will have all the equal rigs sponsored by Asetek Sim Sports. They will be placed on this live stream on the stage of the SimRacing Expo. And I think, Luke, there we need to add something to that, because it's not only
they would have the exact amount of experience as each other, so that's going to be fun.
Exactly. But also for you guys watching and coming to SimRacing Expo is even something more amazing than this, because we opened these rigs, these simulators on stage for you to race every day from 12:30 between the stage panels, you can come up to the stage and race against other visitors, content creators, and even racing drivers who will make challenges against you. And I hope for you that's something you appreciate. And even better to this, I feel like I'm singing the gospel right now. Even better to this, praise the Lord. Luke will live commentate on your race in our live stream. If that's not something the Lord would appreciate, I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure about the Lord, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be some sim racers out there that will appreciate that. But yes, every single hour there'll be some content from, whether it be a content creator, could be a company within sim racing, it could be anybody, for 30 minutes. And then every other 30 minutes, it will be a race between people at the expo. So if you want to get yourself involved on our stage, racing in some cool equipment and on some cool software, then get yourself down to the expo. Again, simracingexpo.com. Get your tickets now. And also, yeah, specifically, oh, sorry, .de, my bad. But specifically one day is getting very, very close to not being able to get tickets for. So make sure you get it done quickly. Right here is your grid for race number 2 then. Marcel Marox is on pole position with Gergo Gaja in 2nd spot. So that's huge. So Marox started the day 4th overall, and he managed to get a race win in the 4th race of the season from a reverse grid. So he knows how to get the job done. Aaron Vasquez then is in 3rd position with Aaron Cook in 4th. And that's huge for the AMs as well, because Aaron Cook was 6th overall, and Matthew Collins scoring 0, and will start from the back of the grid this race. Maybe the door is left open for someone like Aaron Cook to get himself some big results. Leon Harhoff then in 5th, Tim Beidecker in 6th. We then got Jonas Hofstadter and Karolis Meskalis, Wojciech Dvorak, Leon Manin, Giacchino Capillo, and they've got Miroslav Svoboda, Connor Franson, Alessandro Porter, Victor Eilerman, and Jana Koch. We've then got Diogo Faria and Adnan Grozdanich rounding out your top 10. Top 10 rows. Balash Pala and Pinter Jombi. David Toth and Alexi Cavero, Cody Cosford and Adam Majaros. We've then got Kenzie van der Werken, Stein Hamgraf as your 13th row. Mate Lampert and Amar Dizderovic. Then we've got Florian Horvath and Tauno Orumets, and Hamza Pala and Ibrahim Vendic rounds out the top 16 rows. And then we've got Matthew Collin, who is in 33rd and needs a bit of a miracle, although he did come into today with the lead of the AM Championship. Here we go then. We're about to head into a race for the final race of the road to the Sim Racing Expo, powered by Atatec Sim Sports. Oh, who will be the top 3 pros and who will be the top 3 AMs that will make it through to the LAN final in Dortmund on the 18th of October?
We find out now.
We'll find out eventually.
Eventually,
that is for
yeah.
certain. Here at Okayama, the first race, probably the best race of the season so far. Here we go then. Formation lap is about to begin. There is your pace car at the front, but it is again another Hungarian lockout at the front here. Can Marox find himself a massive, massive race here? Can he put himself in the conversation of getting himself to the Sim Racing Expo? Only 2 corners for this formation lap, so everybody at the further back needs to definitely get on with it. It is as simple as that. Oh, sorry, we are at the hairpin. I can only apologise. We are a little bit further back than I thought. So we then head through what would be Revolver and then into Piper. So yeah, everyone's got plenty of time to get themselves involved. We've got that tie-dye livery again from the Lithuanian driver a little bit further back. I think everybody loves that as their favourite livery, especially my favourite, definitely my favourite livery on the grid. As we head through then the final sector, there is Karolis Meskalis. 202 is the 2nd seed in the AMs coming into this championship, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have this championship. He's been always getting involved in a chat and asking nice questions, and that's probably been my highlight of this championship, is the fact that drivers that would not necessarily get to race against the pros in special events, top splits, or just normal top splits, have had that opportunity, but the improvement that they have got from racing with the pros is ultimately the most important thing here. Like Danny said, a few drivers have indeed gone up, 1,000 I rating just by racing against these pros. And Rox here, I think it's probably going to go quite early. He decides against it, so he can't overtake the pace car, so that makes sense. But when is he going to decide to go? Is he going to go late or early? Well, they're going to go very late. They went early last time round, but this time round he's going to go as late as possible. He's going to wait actually for the green lights. This normally spells a bit of trouble a bit further back, so I'm not expecting this to be the cleanest of turn number 1s. It is fanning out about 4 wide. As we go through turn number 1. A little bit of RG McBargington. Aaron Vasquez is on the inside line here, trying to get into that top 3. Has got that top 3. As Tim Beideker's going to drop a bit further back. There's cars facing the wrong way. There's smoke all over the show on the exit of turn number 1. But a big race, well, big winner of that situation. It is Aaron Vasquez and Colin, who is not leading this race. I can tell you that right now. It is Marox that leads out. Colin, I think, is in this race. We'd have to, confirm that whether he is in this race. I would imagine so. He's trying to get through the Expo, so he is at the back. Just to have that confirmed, he is at the back, and he'll be looking to try and pick up some positions as soon as he possibly can.
Yeah, and I can tell you already, Eilemann, Koch, and Groschdanik out. They're sitting at the pit and are going for drinks, I guess, or a cold shower, depending on how they feel. So that's like literally some of the top runners out, and David Toth is also going through the grid.
That's 2 for 2, and again, if it couldn't get any worse, well, it just has done. Lampert a bit further back as well. Zderovic is behind, so there lots of drivers were involved actually at the start here. At least 5 drivers were involved, and it's just not a good start for a few of our Hungarians actually at the back there. You can see a lot of similar liveries near the back end of this. And where is Matthew Collin though? That's the big question. I think that's the big story. Is Alessandro Porta is going to try and stay ahead of Dvorak through the final corner. Dvorak leaves that door open, has to get or do a little bit of avoiding action there for Pinter Jombi. Jombi is trying to send one up the inside, and now he's under pressure from Pala as well. Pala looking to try and get as high up this order as he possibly can, and maybe make a late charge, considering he didn't do the first 2 races, as we see a big mistake there actually. Up ahead, I'm not sure exactly who that is. They've run really deep. It is Dvorak. So Dvorak runs extremely deep there, lost a couple of positions, and that gives Porter, it also gives Jombi an opportunity to come through. Hofstadter with a bit of clear room to work with as well. Mezclis then falling off the back of Cook. So Aaron Cook in a very good spot here. Beideker looking really strong, by the way. Currently in 5th position in this race, the leader of the AM drivers. Came in 2nd position into this round. But yeah, he's looking really, really good. And Conor Francis down at P50. I'm not sure that will affect his advancements here. So it really would be Leon Manning and Aaron Cook. It'd be between those guys, and maybe even Mezclis, who finds himself quite far up the order.
Yeah, and I tried to figure out where Matthew Collin is, and
off the track we go. Who was that? Who was that? Is that Gaja? It was Gaja. Oh, yeah. Dear. I can tell you that is not how the BMW M2 is supposed to look, and hopefully he's not going to race with tilt here and have any more incidents, but yeah, not a good start here. And that's, I think, 3 from that team that have all faced the wrong way. Not good.
Yeah, and I think this journey is already ending quite soon, since he has a lead 4. So that's requires for back and forth.
Here we go. We're going to have a look at an onboard here with Jonas Koch, and you try and figure this out, guys, because I'm sure something big is about to go down. We're heading now down towards. Oh, he's gone very. Yeah. That's. I've broken a little bit too late. I've gone to avoid one car. The other car has no time to react, so they get taken out. And Jano Koch, who had a very good race number 1, is not going to have a good race number 2.
So.
Oh, Matthew Collin up to 18th.
Yes, that's amazing. Oh, that's a good start to the 2nd lap.
Yeah, I tell you what, I still think he probably needs to get up into sort of somewhere near the top 5, somewhere handy like that, to make sure that they're through to the final. But yeah, doing the best job they possibly can right now. That is a gain of about 15 positions, nearly 15 positions. So it is, sorry, it literally says on screen there actually, 15 positions.
No worries.
I guessed it, and it was literally there.
Yeah, it was. I doubt that he can make the 27 lap or position gains. Like I think Victor Eilemann has currently a record in our series to gain the most places in one race. But I cross all my thumbs, and Aaron Cook is going through the field. He is off or already damaged.
Oh, that is not good. Yeah, when you're facing the wrong way like that, that is not good at all. He's going to get going again. Oh, and there's another cast Lampert, I think. Oh, he's just. Oh, God. He just literally drove into someone else. Oh, that's a meatball. That's definitely damaged there. Not getting the car rotated. Aaron Cook will be out of this race, and so Conor Franson's going to move up. And that will be Aaron Cook's championship done and dusted as well. As we go a bit further back there. Is that Dvorak making a move on Hofstadter? Yes, it was.
Yes,
exactly that. It was exactly that move there.
Very
difficult for him. It's very difficult to remember liveries, especially when they change them every week. It's really tough, guys. really trying my best to figure out who is exactly who. Dvorak then trying to keep hold, or trying to maintain a position with the outside line as we head then down towards turn number 1. Yeah, not quite going to work out there. Hofstadter is going to keep hold of it, but there's contact between both of them. It's 3 wide then running in towards turn number 2, and well, this could end up being a complete mess.
Yeah, that's looking like this to shape up. I don't think that anyone was sending it from behind into P5.
Oh my God, look at this.
They behave.
They're trying to behave.
Yeah, it looked like chaos coming up, but they behave. That's really good. And still, Dortmund and Hofstadter going side by side for 3/4 of the lap, and now wild weaving is going on.
Oh dear. Oh, a little love tap there. That's gonna. Oh dear. Oh, there's just love taps all over the place. We got. So that. Yeah. So Hofstadter just gave a love tap, and then because of that love tap, received a love tap and got spun around the wrong way. Meanwhile, Matthew Collins up to P15. It might be. Do you know what? Might be worth going on board with Matthew Collins. Marox here has a battle with Vasquez. This is for the lead of the race. Vasquez then will have that inside line by the time they come through this sweeping right-hander, which is Hobbs' corner. Will have the move done there. Gets across the bonnet. Yeah, Vasquez has moved from, what was it, P3 up to P1, so good from him. But yeah, what about Matthew Collin? Matthew Collin, he's absolutely flying through here. He's got Svoboda to deal with. He's officially, I think, P7 now in the no, P6 now in his class. A couple of cars up ahead of him. It's going to be tough for him to catch up to Bielica and Mezglis. They're a little bit further up the road. But if they start battling with each other, there's every reason to suggest he might get back involved. But this is a very, very good recovery drive from Matthew Collin.
Yeah, and exactly. And Mezglis is obviously he's in front right now, but not close in the championship, so that's not too bad. So he potentially just needs to get Dvorak and Van der Werken, and he's good to go. I think at top 3 in the championship. That shouldn't be such an issue. Alex Porter made the same progress in the last race. Yeah, this race is very, very different from the intensiveness of battles, so I jinxed it. Van der Werken is out.
Yeah, Van der Werken, literally, as you said that, it's just dropped all the way down the order. Yeah, Danny, that is what they call the curse of the commentator, I'm afraid. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Vasquez then leading the way, 0.3 of a second clear of Marox. Van der Werken, I think, was kind of thinking about defending there, and I realised he wasn't going fast enough, so he couldn't do it. So we're about to see a move then from Pala on Mezglis, and that's a very clever bit of driving from Mezglis, because actually, if you think about it, right, he needs to get ahead of Bielica, really, to try and gather as many points as possible. Bielica doesn't really need to finish in first position, but you assume that Pala and Porter are faster than Bielica. If you can hang in behind them and take advantage of them forcing their way through on Bielica, there's a reason that to suggest that you might be able to win the AM race today.
I love how you do all this strategy in your big brain. And I suppose the driver's not giving that a second thought, but I would suppose as well. Because it doesn't make sense to fight against some of the best drivers in the grid, especially Zombie, who probably is already our champion in the pro class. So let them go, let them catch Bielica, get the draft, and then spare the last minutes fighting for your life against Bielica.
Yeah, it certainly will. As Horvath, looks like Cody Cosford is dropping. Oh no. Oh no. I mean,
that was an interesting reverse.
I mean, that's just poor. I mean, you just can't rejoin a track like that, I'm afraid. It's just not very good. Yeah. Connery Maddock will be absolutely fuming at that. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and Hauff is fighting against Franzen, and Hauff is actually one kind of specialist in low-powered cars. He came from Assetto Corsa and was driving in national championships around in Germany in SimRacing centers, and made, I think, last year the move to iRacing. Took some time to accommodate to the difference of iRacing to Assetto Corsa, which is obviously a bit given. But now it shows like really good progress, and Dubtoff is making his ranks up again. I think he was 23rd or something at the worst point of the race. So he's coming back.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixture of taking advantage of other people's mistakes, but also being quick, right? We've seen a lot of people facing the wrong way. that's a bit of a given. So, yes, David Toth is a very, very, very accomplished driver, someone who's been on iRacing a long, long time, a World Championship driver in multiple different series as well, whether it be open wheel or indeed tin top cars on the service. So, yeah, someone who's very accomplished. And we'll be looking to try and get himself a top 10 ahead of Capillo, who is just up ahead in the road. Vasquez leads by 0.3 of a second. And then we've got Bielica in behind them. And a bit of no man's land here, which will not be the worst thing in the world for Bielica. Bielica's not going to be too worried about that. Although, as Porter and Pala are going to fight for position. So this really doesn't help the likes of Mezclis. Mezclis has now been overtaken by Pinter Jombi. You know, Mezclis will look to try and stick behind these three. But yeah, they're fighting like this is not really going to help catch up to Bielica. And ultimately, Mezclis catch up to them as well.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Jombi is coming from behind in big steps, formerly known as 0.5 faster last lap. So maybe it's sometimes better to look out in front instead of fighting like crazy to just have momentarily one place in front.
I don't think Pinter Jombi's worried about it, mate. To be honest, he's done the hard work, so he's just out there racing for fun. And also, if he faces any of these people at the Expo, it's kind of a big send up the inside then from Faria is defending actually from Capillo. Dvorak is also Capillo getting involved here. So no, should I say that Davidov has got ahead here of Diogo Faria, Capillo, and have now got ahead of Dvorak as well. But yeah, it's also a chance here for Pinter Jombi to go, if one of you qualify to the Expo, I've got the beating of you every single time we're out on track together. You know, it's psychological advantage is huge in this situation as well.
Yeah, just showing the dominance and that nobody could, come up to his kind of racing level this season or this 3 races. And but it's spoiled so much about the final. There will be some secret sauce which make the final very, very interesting. Maybe they need to drive with their eyes closed or just one hand. I mean, that we don't know yet.
Secret sauce?
There
might be a secret meal. You never know. Oh, that's not going to work. That's all 3 of them. That is not going to work. Colin tried to, I don't know what, we need to see that again from the outside of the car, from behind. A little chase cam action. I know.
I feel like it was
he probably would not be a fan of that.
Again, the situation where one car crossed the other one and just turned around. But hold your horses.
Yeah, because before I can say that Colin was at fault for that, I'd need to see whether there's any contact with another car there, because you don't tend to miss your braking point by that significant margin unless someone else was there to help you in that situation. We've only got 7 minutes left of our online racing part of this series. Vasquez leads by half a second. Marox in second spot. Marox with a bit of a chance to go through as well. He's only 6 points behind Porter coming into this. Porter's had 2 okay races, so that's going to be close between those two. We obviously know that Pala is having a pretty good day, although he finds himself where is Pala? Pala's P4 in this race, so yeah, it's actually going to be really tight. I think Vasquez and Jombi are good, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult for the likes of Porter in this situation. Here we go. We're going to have a look behind them. So we've got Matthew Collin, who's up ahead. Oh, and I don't know. He just gets squeezed a bit there. I think. Oh dear. Well, it's not much he could have done about that actually. Yeah, again, I can't really see enough to really give an opinion.
Because they just glued together and then went off in different directions. But yeah, let's focus on the top 3. Here's still, I think, a battle to come, maybe. It's interesting how Moritz can stay with Aaron Vasquez all the time. That was not the case all over the season. And from the last lap, he lost 900s. But I guess, maybe I'm just wrong. And Aaron Vasquez is chilling and vibing in the front and leaves Moritz behind. But,
well, I have a Michael Steve on the AK Esports account over on YouTube, and they've called me out about the chase cam. They hate chase cam. It's the best camera if you want to see an incident, guys, and know exactly who's at fault. That is the best camera. I'm telling you right now. I know you don't like it as a broadcasters, guys, but that is a fact. That is the best camera to look at. There you go. As a viewer, yes. As a broadcaster, no. That's what's just being said in my ear from our producer, guys. So, you know, I'm a viewer right now, so that would have been the perfect view. Just calling you all out. Anyway, on board with Diogo Faria. Looking for that top 10. David Toff just up ahead of him. David Toff has done unbelievably well. So it won't show many positions gained in this race, but I can tell you he was right at the back. He was P27 at one point, and now he's in the top 10. That is an excellent drive.
Yeah, so I'm just watching and try to get the AM championship going in my head. Yeah, Leon Money on P4 is actually on P20 right now. Lost a huge chunk of time throughout the race and probably is damaged. So I think the battle for P1, 2, and 3 is nearly solid. Colin is getting back into potentially P13. He has a lot of gap to 11 and 10s, but anyway, Beilicke is in first currently and 93 points tied with Matthew Collin, so Beilicke will get in front. Connor Franson had a really good day today, so P8 currently, P3 in the championship. I think that's going to be solid as well. So there's just one thing that I'm missing, and that's our lovely steward reports.
Yeah, well, you know, that's something I don't need to get involved in, so I'll just give that a completely wide berth. There's a reason I'm a commentator, so I don't have to do that. That would you know, not be fun to do at all. As Cavero then is behind Dizderovic, but they're up the road. Sorry, they're not up the road here. We're on board with the car in the middle of this little battle. There's Dvorak just up ahead, Dizderovic, and then we've got Cavero just in behind. So it's the battle for what would be 15th position overall. Dizderovic, it wouldn't improve his points by gaining a position, and if the drivers around him lost a position, it wouldn't lose them any points either. But if Dizderovic can get ahead of Dvorak, it might just make an opportunity for Cavero to get involved and get ahead of Dvorak. So yeah, it's really about Cavero using Dizderovic to potentially make up some points for himself for the AM Championship.
Yeah, but it doesn't still matter in the end if you're not racing for top 3. I don't know. Still fighting hard.
Yeah.
So that shows at least that they care about everything what they're doing here and want to give us the best possible show. The field actually has some kind of big gaps in between currently, so there you see where actually a lot of action have gone down over the course of the race. And we are actually in the pre-ultimate lap. Can that possibly be? So
that is true.
These are the last lap battles, which are getting very intense as we can see. The rock with Dizderovic. I'm so bad with names. I'm very, very sorry. I'm gonna pronounce any of your names at the expo. I promise.
What I like about this is Cavero just pushed Dizderovic down the back stretch to try and get him ahead and also follow him through. So he is trying to help that car, because again, the red name, or the red numbers, getting ahead of the white numbers doesn't make any difference in terms of the points, but Cavero could try and get ahead of Dvorak, but he's got to try and use that car. But also, they're now being caught by Handgraf. White flag for this race. Final race then of our online section of this championship. And yeah, maybe Handgraf could maybe get involved here and gain himself a spot. At the front end, though, it is 0.8 of a second separating the front two. Then Beilicke, who is P3 overall, and the first of our AMs. This is maybe the most impressive performance from any of the AM drivers all season long. Finds himself in third spot. He's got Pala and Jombi just in behind. So can he keep that overall podium? It's going to be a very tough task to indeed get that figured out. But you know, if he could get through this next corner, there is a fair shot at it. As we come then down towards the hairpin, turn number 5. Are we going to see a send up the inside? I'm not sure. We are. We're actually exactly going to see that. And to be fair, I don't think Tim Beilicke is worried about a podium at all. He's just like, yeah, off you go. Here's the red carpet. Cheers, chaps.
Yeah, I was probably already getting very spicy with internet flashing in the back like crazy. But Beilicke made the right call. Let's go, guys. Get the podium. Enjoy. I'm going to take my win in the second race in the AM. Going to get the sweet points for the championship and finish the race.
It's me trying to build it up as some massive, unbelievable fight on the last lap, and Beilicke went, yeah, nah, we're good. Have a good one. Have a good
I don't
chaps.
want to.
You boys crack on. I just want to get the P1 in the AMs. Anyway, we're about to come across the line then. It is a white flag. There is the checkered flag being waved Vasquez will pick up a victory here. It's only actually his second victory of the season. Won the first race and he's won the last race of the season. Marox then picks up P2. Marox has managed to get a P1 and a P2 this season. His last P1 was actually in the fourth race of the season. And then Pala, who did not race first race and second race, he managed to get a second and a third here. Maybe, just maybe, he's put himself in a hunt for that final qualifying spot. I think that he might have done it, you know. I think Porter might have been displaced here. And I think that Pala might be making his way to the SimRacing Expo. I think it's going to be Vasquez, Jombi, and Balázs Pala. Ooh, very interesting.
Potentially very, very true, to be honest. So he gets 37 and 30. He actually finished the race before in the same positions. Yeah, but let's see. Tomorrow is another day, and then we have everything counted. The stewards made their decisions about the race, which will probably, there will be plenty to be made. And all in all,
I thought you were going to say something else, Danny. Oh, you are. Sorry, you paused for ages.
Way more drama to the final, to be honest, especially when we made the decision to race on Okayama, and now Okayama is like totally turned out for me like a special track in my heart, where I'm very confident that I could place more races and should
race
race
circuit, Danny.
Yeah, it's a really good
race circuit. It means it's one of those circuits where if you are fair with your opposition, there's room to be left, right? It's not one of those circuits like, let's use Alton Park as an example. You kind of have to send it to make an overtaking opportunity. Here, you can set it up, and then you've got a few corners to get it done, and you can fight fairly side by side and get the advantage in one corner, then your opposition gets an advantage in the next corner, and it's kind of like an obvious flow to it. So that's why it's so good for racing. Here are your official results then for this race. Aaron Vasquez finishes in P1. Marox then in second. We've got Pala with a podium in third. Pinto Jombi finishes in fourth. Tim Bielica in fifth. Alessandro Porter in sixth. We've then got Mescalis, Franson, Harhoff, and Toth as your top 10. Faria, Capillo, Hofstadter. We've then got Colin, Dvorak, Cavero, Handgraf, Horvath, Manin, Cosford as your top 20. Then we've got Kenzie van der Werken, Lamper, Orimet, Parla, Dizderovic as your final classified drivers, in Svoboda, Koch, Ibrahim Vendic, Cook, Najaros, Gaja, Eilerman, and Grozdanic are DNFs in this one. So we're going to have a few interviews here if there's any drivers that actually do indeed drop by. We haven't actually, last time we only had one or two, I think. So if any drivers do indeed decide to drop by, then they will do. But Danny, that is the online section of this championship done. So we've got 6 races in the books, and we've seen some real top performances from our pros, and we've seen some emergencies of some very good drivers from the AMs, and that's what the championship is all about, right? It's about giving a chance. Obviously, the pros are always going to sign up to these events, but then the drivers that are less than 5K getting an opportunity, and just like in that final race there, Bielica, who was mixing it at the front in the top 3, did drive out the way because of the way the class system works, but yes, on raw pace, was good enough to be a third position in that race.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw that over in the season that some drivers like really prepared, some AN drivers like really put time in to drive the car and getting there up to speed. And I also want to mention something that's obviously not seen by the public. Some people would expect now drivers go into Discord and being like furious, and actually everybody is saying sorry for the crash, for this. And also the other drivers like, no worries, man. I had the best battle of the season with you, and like cheering each other up and being thankful for racing against each other hard and fair, which is like very, very great to see. And we appreciate this kind of sportsmanship, since, yeah, on track you can be one of the big enemies, but off track in the paddock, go up for a beer, have a good one, and laugh.
Exactly that. And this championship highlights the very best of the best. But then there's also there is a competitive world in sim racing, which iRacing do, by the way, do very well in terms of the split system. But there is a competitive group of drivers that are not 10K, but they want to be competing in good competitions, and that's why we do have the rule of 5,000 and below. And then obviously it doesn't matter how high you are in terms of the pros. So yeah, a real fantastic championship we've had so far. It doesn't actually look like we've got any drivers to interview here, by the way, Danny. So this is going to be a real awkward
maybe
ending.
Still out of breath. I don't know.
But let's talk about the actual final then. So we will have 6 drivers make it, top 3 from the pros, top 3 from the AMs. They will make it to the SimRacing Expo on October the 18th. So it'll be the Saturday. It'll be live streamed. You guys can watch it from your home as well. But they'll be in person, racing alongside each other in rigs on our stage. We'll be commentating it all live. It'll be a fantastic event, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and to add, so there's not like extensively training for them. They will get on the Saturday morning before Expo's opening a certain slot to drive on the simulators and get used to what we use on the simulator as software. And then they're good to go and have to race in the evening. Obviously, we're gonna ask them for some interviews and how they feel, how the pressure is building up. And then they're good to go at 17 o'clock on the Saturday at SimRacing Expo at the 18th of October. And we actually have an interview partner. It's Tim Bieleke. I think that will be interesting to see the thought process behind some of his moves and how he felt after the race.
Yeah, let's bring Tim Bieleke involved then with this. Here is Tim. Tim, you were in a very good overall P3, actually, in that final race. I was about to build it up as, oh, it's going to be an amazing fight here. Is he going to hold on? And then you went down to the hairpin and you went, nah, you good, lads. I just want to take the win in the AMs. How you feeling, bud?
I'm feeling great, yeah. That at the end, I was just trying to get out of the way. I saw the gap after pin time, was like, the worst thing that could happen was them killing me, trying to force a pass.
That makes complete sense.
That would be like worst case, and I saw the gap and I knew I had time. Just tried to play the race and like not make any mistakes throughout.
Yeah, amazing. Really good strategy and calls from you. I mean, in the end, you're right. It's about your position in the championship. How do you prepare? Like, how do you feel? You were like very close, tied on points actually with Colin. So maybe just give us like a short introduction of your thought process for all of the races today, since you knew since yesterday that's Okayama and the race will be very, very close.
Yeah, I think I did about like 2.5 hours of practice, mostly today. And yeah, qualifying didn't go amazing, and I was like, yeah, I'll just try and get as many positions as I can, but then I just kind of settled down. I wasn't able to go anywhere, and then I just ended up. It was kind of funny to see like some of the pros coming back through the pack because they wanted to reverse grid. And I think like 3 pros went past because they wanted a pole position. But yeah, it was definitely into the second race. I had a good start and was able to go outside because it stacked up. Previous races, like Navarra was really good because obviously the time attack, but the second race I didn't prepare as much for, and in both of those races I was racing on a borrowed rig because my brother was visiting, so we had to get a rig somewhere. So we borrowed a rig from the local motorsport club.
Yeah, that's the stories which are happening along the line of these kind of championships. Do you want to give a shout out to the motorsport club who rent you the rig?
Yeah, sure. My local motorsport club, the MSC Graben Neudorf. It was really nice because I had hoped I would make it through to the finals with my brother. That would have been fun, but...
Yeah, but maybe you are now at the finals and you can stand up in the front of the crowd and cheering at the end of our championship. So thank you for the time taking with us to take the interview. And Luke, do you have still some question, or are we moving forward?
No, just simply congratulations, mate. We'll see you. I think it's pretty safe to say we'll see you in Dortmund, mate, to be honest. So yeah,
I think with the win I'm through, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Nice one. Well, congrats, mate, and we'll see you in a few weeks' time.
Thank you. See you.
See you later. Right, let's bring in Aaron Vasquez then from the race win. So Aaron won the first race of the season, decided not to win any more races until the final race. Aaron, how you doing, mate? Still not forgotten about the truck race, by the way.
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, I mean, the first race was unfortunately like really sad. Like I got contact behind, so I couldn't do too much, and I tried to be like in the top 20 to have a good position for the second race. So it's what I did basically, because the first one was already over for me, and in the second race basically I was expecting like, okay, just chill, not do any stupid thing in the overtaking the 2 guys I have in front of me. When I was trying to overtake the first one, the guy I think was blocking me too much, and we have a contact like I don't understand too much, but at the end I was trying to don't move in my line. I did that, and then we have a contact that it was I think not my fault, so we will see after the stewards. But yeah, at the end we managed to finish P1. I'm really happy overall with the championship, but not especially with this round because I didn't have the pace I wanted to have. But I'm really happy actually. We finished like really good overall. I don't have too much like to say. Only like thank you for the organization. Yes, thank you for SimRacing Expo to do this championship because it was actually really funny.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aaron. And I think we're gonna see us at SimRacing Expo anyway, and you're stepping onto the stage and show on site what you can do, and maybe you're one of the lucky ones and take away the crown of the pro class. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we will see. Like I don't know the game will be, so I know it was not iRacing, so also the sim will be not like in my house, so we will see what happens. But I think it will be a good experience racing in the stand. So I think it will be funny. So I don't mind if I finish P3, P1, P2. So the important thing is just get funny, don't get in a trouble with someone. That's the most important thing, and then we will see what happens. Yeah.
Don't
No
worry,
worries.
we'll sort out a truck race at Daytona 1v1 versus me somewhere else. That's for sure.
All right, we can do it. Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we will do it. Okay. Yeah, don't you
All
come
right,
at me
all
like
right.
that. We will.
Yeah, I say.
Hold
I
me
say
back,
that.
Danny. Hold me back.
I hold you back, man. No worries.
Congratulations, mate. We'll see you in October.
Okay, thank you. See you guys.
See you.
So there you go, Danny. I think, yeah, those are the two kind of guaranteed names that have gone through. Let's bring in Pinter Jombi, I think is another driver that we can probably say has made it through. So Pinter, congratulations, mate. It pretty much looks like you are through to Dortmund. How are you feeling? Oh, there we are.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Oh, we
Yes.
can.
First of all, this competition was seriously amazing. I had such a great time in all 3 rounds. Every race just got better and better. I really felt like I found my rhythm out there. It was definitely a challenge not having a team or anyone to help me with telemetry, so I had to figure a lot of stuff out on my own. But I actually loved the challenge. I kept pushing myself to improve every time I got on track. My car was bitty. Was a bitty wonky in the second race. That's why I had a harder time getting faster. Anyway, racing with such talented drivers was unreal, and I'm super grateful for the change to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pinter, for these nice words. I think some of the Formula 1 drivers could take some examples of your kind of words and your professional speech. Luke, do you have something to add or question?
No, mate, I'm just, I'm looking forward to meeting you. As I say, in every sim racing competition, there's always a Hungarian, and well, here's our Hungarian. Pinter Jombi, congratulations, mate. We'll see you in a couple of weeks in Dortmund. I think he's gone. I think he's gone already. Yep, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, fair
Now
enough.
we're waiting for
He
Connor.
didn't even want to respond. I think we've got one more person, then we're going to bring in Connor Franson, who, once it's been figured out, I believe. Oh no, Connor decided to disappear back to the waiting room. But yeah, here he is, Connor Franson, who I think, with a bit of mathematics, should have made it through. Again, it'll be tight, but a good day today, and did everything you probably or possibly could have done to get yourself to Dortmund.
Yeah, really happy with the results. I really didn't expect it because round 1 at Navarra it went horrible. Both races I was taken out, and yeah, I just learned a lot from that, and that's why I did a lot of normal M2 races to just improve my racecraft as best as I can. But yeah, I really didn't expect these results today, and yeah, the first race. I just followed the pros and just created a gap from P2 behind me, and that's how I got P1. And race 2, I'm also really happy. Yeah, unfortunately P3, the gap from gap to P2 was way too big, like 1.9 seconds, so I just couldn't keep up. But yeah, I'm really happy with the results, P3 and P1. So yeah, let's hope for the best and hopefully top 3.
Yeah, we will try to get the results as fast as possible. So just waiting for the steward results or steward decisions to be done through. That should happen tomorrow, I think, and then we can release the full standings. But I think, or Luke and I think, that you made like very good impression. Also scored a lot of points, which is always good, and would be amazing to see you at Expo.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Beer
That's
time,
good.
Connor. It's all about the beer time. Don't worry about the competition. Let's have a beer together, shall we? Lovely. Congrats, mate. I think we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, see you.
See you, mate. Oh, Danny, done. All the online stuff is done. We get to commentate again in a few weeks' time. Any final words from you?
It was a pleasure to see all the drivers stacking up and like the 1,500 or 700 people trying to qualify for the series and then have these kind of amazing guys on the grid. Obviously, there were highs and lows from crashes to victories to zeros, but that's racing, and we had a good time together with all of you viewers. And don't forget, SimRacing Expo starting from the 17th of October goes to 19th of October in Messe Dortmund. If you want to join, tickets are still available, or even on the box office, but there's a little €2 plus on that ticket, so save your tickets before. And otherwise, Luke, as usual, you can have the last words because you're like a philosopher.
Yeah, that's something like that. Anyway, thank you very much for everyone who watched at home, to all of our drivers, of course, to Danny, my co-host or co-commentary. It's first time he's done it, and he's done very well indeed. To our partners, of course, Traction and Aztec Sim Sports, and to AK Esports, of course, who have been helping us out behind the scenes as our production partners. It's been a fantastic event so far. We've still got the final in Dortmund at 15, or was it 1700 hours? Yes, it'd be 5 p.m.
17.
in the afternoon, October the 18th.
What you're going
on
to
the
say?
Saturday.
Now people
Not December. It's been a long couple of months. Not December, guys. It's been a long couple of months, but we're going to get there eventually. We will get there. But yes, in October the 18th, on the Saturday in the afternoon, we will have our finale live on stage with our sim rigs, with our software. I'll leave that that's it. I can give no more away. It should be fun to indeed watch. But next week, you will get that announcement. Of course, tomorrow we'll find out exactly who will be joining us there. But from us, we'll see you in Dortmund.